Devils will stay unbeaten when they take the field next Saturday against the Florida State Seminoles. And in one other game that I'm sure many of you had your eye on today, Canisius gets shut out, at Marist. We'll be back with first half highlights and some of the other sports news of the day right after this. Stay with us.
If you're the kind of person who enjoys distinction, excellence, and quality, look no further than Larry H. Miller Cadillac. You see, at Larry H. Miller Cadillac, we specialize in adding custom details and accessories to make your luxury automobile even more distinctive. Owning a Cadillac sets you apart, but owning a fully accessorized Cadillac from Larry H. Miller puts you in a class by yourself. Stop in for your own Larry H. Miller limited edition Cadillac.
Credit card companies act like you just touch their cards and suddenly you're transported to a magical fantasy land where everyone speaks French and has 1% body fat. I mean, come on. You use MasterCard at the gas station. Some wonderland, huh? Actually, it is a wonderland. I mean, where else can you fill the tank, get directions, and microwave a burrito all at the same time? And it's smart to use MasterCard because you can keep track of all your spending with one useful monthly statement, which really is ideal. Well, I guess the gas station is nirvana, only a lot easier to get to. MasterCard, it's more than a credit card, it's smart money.
Enter the world of National Geographic. Join us as we travel from Botswana to Borneo, Cameroon to Canada, and all points in between. Together, we'll celebrate nature's hidden wonders and humankind's greatest achievements. Uncover the ancient secrets of yesterday and explore the dreams of tomorrow on the world of National Geographic.
Sunday at 5 on KJAZ 14.
And welcome back to the halftime report. Once again, after 2 quarters of play, it's Southwest Louisiana leading the Aggies 17-14. Let's see how things got the way they are, shall we? The Aggies looked good on their opening drive. They take the first drive of the game right down the field. Profale Greer gets the pitch and a great block and finds pay dirt to make it 7-zip Ags. Then the defense would take the spotlight with the Cajuns threatening after a good drive. The Aggies get pressure on the QB. Charles McMillan steps into the picture for the pick. End of drive. The Aggie-O could do nothing, and the defense had to come up big again, and they would oblige. Stripping the ball, fumble, and that is recovered by the Ags' David Gill, giving them pretty good field position. The Ags stick with the ground game. Abu Wilson churning out some big yardage here, 32 of them to be exact, breaking tackles, and that puts USU back in scoring position inside the 25-yard line. The quarter ends, and they change direction, but not momentum. Matt Wells reads the blitz and unloads to Ivy Russell. And Ivy sees nothing but green in front, and he puts the Aggies up in 14-0. The Cajuns came back to score a touchdown and a field goal and another TD. Your score remains 17-14 Cajuns at the half. Turning to hoops, the Utah Jazz and the New York Knicks hooked up again today after doing battle last night. In that game, the Knicks came back from 15 points down to win by 3, 113-110. And the officials are enforcing the new rules or what, folks? Well, you tell me. Last night, the two teams went to the free throw line a combined 112 times. Would they be in for a similar ordeal today? To find out, we head to Nassau County Coliseum in New York. With time running out in the third quarter, John Stockton takes it and makes it from just inside the three-point line. The Jazz were in control early on in the second half. Jeff Hornacek on the break. Check out the pass to Karl Malone for the hammer dunk. Jeff Hornacek racking up a few assists today. This one, he'll get the pass from Stockton. Turns and finds Felton Spencer for the rim rocker. Big Felton throwing down at Nassau. Then Felt in the low post is off target, but there's the mailman to clean it up. Carl finished with 23 points and 10 rebounds. That in spite of the fact that neither he nor Stockton played very much today. Stock explains Coach Sloan's preseason PT philosophy.
Well, you still want to win them. The guys that are out there want to win them. We want to win them, but we have to play guys. This is the time to play guys, see what they're made of, and also not wear the veterans out too much. We're no spring chickens anymore. They want to save a lot of that for the regular season, so I think that's his idea.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention that the Jazz won this game handily anyway? 115-101, the final score. That brings the Jazz preseason record to 4-1 as they return to the Delta Center for their first home game of the year on Monday to face the 76ers minus Sean Bradley. A reminder to watch Jazz Journal each Sunday night at 10:30 right here on KJazz 14. In tomorrow's show, you'll see how Jazz point guard extraordinaire John Stockton spent part of his summer. His vacation was spent in one of the most intense areas of the world, Korea's demilitarized zone. You'll find out why basketball camps are a family affair for Jazz guard Jeff Hornacek. And we'll take a look at Utah native Sean Bradley's much-anticipated, albeit brief, professional debut in his home state. All that and more on Jazz Journal tomorrow night at 10:30. Well, that's all the time we have here on the Halftime Report. We'll send you back up north to Romney Stadium in Logan with Carlton Wing and Craig Hislop for the second half. Once again, your score at halftime is 17-14 Southwest Louisiana. Enjoy the rest of the game. Good night, everybody.
This label tells you it's 100% cotton. This label tells you it's 100% real cheese. And this label tells you it's 100% low fares. Always check the label. Southwest, the low-fare airline. On most airlines, you can only get a low fare to a few places. But Southwest has low fares everywhere we fly. So for low fares every time you fly, don't get stuck on some other airline. Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Where's my NyQuil? This is some cough.
This is some cough.
If I take this, I could still be up tonight coughing, and I got some rest.
I've got some rest.
Hey, you're really sick. You need children's NyQuil as much as I need grown-up NyQuil.
Vicks, NyQuil and children's NyQuil. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, stuffy head so you and your child can rest medicine.
Introducing the most durable Bounty ever.
It does jobs I never thought a paper towel could do. Now it's the quilted picker-upper.
The quilted picker-upper.
It even scrubs the carpet.
Ordinary towels fall apart, even top quality towels, but new quilted Bounty's this much stronger. It's still quicker, too. The quilted picker-upper.
New quilted Bounty.
We're back in Logan, Utah. Southwestern Louisiana saw that the game was about to get out of hand. They came back and made a game of it here in the second quarter. Got fireworks behind us. 17-14 is our score at halftime. Coach Jim Zorn yesterday promised that it would be a very good game, and it has been a good game. Very tight, but we've had two separate games almost in the different quarters.
It's like the tale of two quarters, where the Aggies start off with a long drive, take a 7-0 lead. USL starts making mistakes, 3 turnovers. The Aggies turn the middle one of the 3 into a touchdown. Lead 14-0 with 10 minutes left in the first half. And then everything went wrong when USL starts running the ball. They had a little trap counter thing that they ran with great efficiency, with Mossick and Cotton getting big chunks of yardage. And at the same time, the offensive line started to break down for Utah State. And the blitzes were working finally. Early on, they didn't for USL, a known blitzing team, and it's changed the whole game around. They've outscored the Aggies 17-0 in less than 10 minutes of play.
Indeed, also, we could call this first half the first half of missed opportunity as well, because there were 3 turnovers that Southwestern Louisiana had. Utah State only able to convert one of those into a score. And in the first quarter, Southwestern Louisiana had great field position all along, was unable to do anything with that.
Yeah, and the Aggies, you may remember we were talking about the totals at the end of the quarter. It was something like 103-35 in total offense. That totally changed around. If you look briefly at the statistics in the second quarter of play, USL outgains the Aggies 135-28 in the totals, and that leaves us with what we have there. A slight edge in the first downs, a big edge in the rushing. I told you their running game really got going. Aggies do have a little bit of an edge in passing, but USL just as soon run the ball the rest of the game and win the game. The turnovers are the thing. The Aggies cashed in on one of them.
might want to be more efficient after they create some more of those turnovers and cashing in on them.
And one of the keys also that we mentioned early on in the game, and this is falling true to form, Jake Delhomme, 2 for 7 with 44 yards. He is not having a great passing day, and that's exactly what Southwestern Louisiana wants, because both Mossick and Cotton are running the ball well, and they have, as you see there, 126 yards rushing. When they rush for over 110, they're 4-0, or excuse me, 3-0 on this season. They like it when they can run the ball. They get to control the clock a little more, and you see a little bit of a difference there in the time of possession. That makes a difference for Southwestern Louisiana. That's what they want to be doing. And in the second quarter, they were able to do so when Cotton was able to take those 2 successive runs of 42 yards, the last one into the end zone, and really got the ball rolling for the Raging Cajuns.
Always Dick Bumpus, who's the defensive coordinator, former Arkansas defensive lineman. His goal for the Aggies defensively is always to stop the run, and that was emphasized this week because they knew if they could stop the run and force Delhomme to pass, USL would be in trouble. Well, it's worked the other way around in the second quarter. Nelson Stokely's running the ball like he wants to, so he doesn't have to make his quarterback pass the ball, and that's why they have a slight lead. This is going to be an interesting second half, and always the third quarter seems to be the problem for Utah State. They've really been outscored in third quarters, and they've got to stay with it to stay in the game with this USL team.
The Aggies have only scored 8 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
That is by far their worst quarter all year, and they have allowed the opposition 54 points in those quarters. That is by far the worst. The third quarter really can kind of dictate the ability athletically to stay in this game. We got fireworks behind us, and I think we better get out of here. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this.
We have a surprise for you at Blacker Furniture. We've joined our family with the RCA family. RCA has a new 18-inch satellite dish that's sweeping the country. We have them here, along with a full line of RCA color TVs, VCRs, and camcorders. Another busy area in our store is our carpet and vinyl department. We have one of the largest selections in northern Utah and a great team of professional installers. For all of your floor covering needs and electronics, visit Blacker Furniture. We're still the home of the soft sale.
Now that cold weather set in, come into Intermountain Farmers for warmer work clothing. Because if your job keeps you outside during the winter months, you know dressing properly can be critical. So whether your outdoor activities are for work or fun, come see our stylish new jackets and workable insulated coveralls. Designed to be convenient to put on as well as comfortable to work in. Cold weather apparel you need at a price you can afford.
Serving your needs at home and on the farm. We're IFA.
Utah skiers save at Park City Ski Area. Whatever kind of skiing you're in the mood for, you'll find more of it at Park City, Utah's largest ski area. Season passes and Utah resident coupon books are now on sale for a limited time. And both are guaranteed with our $8 million snowmaking system. The sooner you act, the more you save. Park City Ski Area, the heart of American skiing.
Hi, Rod Hundley here for Upper Limit Fitness Warehouse. When I bought my fitness equipment, I came to Upper Limit for the unbelievable warehouse prices and selection. Besides that, they're the fitness experts. Nobody knows fitness like these guys. And the equipment, you gotta love it, baby. Come on in to Upper Limit at 815 West 2400 South in Salt Lake or 1345 South State in Orem and see the exercise equipment experts. And remember, just like the Jazz, they're your coaches too.
We are back as we are just about set to begin the third quarter here in Logan, Utah's Romney Stadium under the lights. The Yankees will receive the kickoff from Southwestern Louisiana. Back deep for the Aggies. That's Profel Greer and Kevin Alexander. And we are now set to go. 17-14 the score. Southwestern Louisiana able to utilize a very nice second quarter to take the lead here. Again, they go with a short pop-up just behind the shortstop. Mike Hamilton gets the ball, and the ball pops. Looked like the ball popped loose again. I think they've found something they want to. Well, I guess it didn't happen. Seeing things. Those lights were awfully bright at halftime, weren't they, Craig?
Didn't bother me. Well, we're getting so used to seeing the tight end return the kicks. This is a little unusual.
31-yard line. The Aggies will take over 1st and 10. Matt Wells, look at his first half numbers. Just over 50%. 62 yards. You'd like to build on that here in the second half. Wells gives to Greer. Greer met at the line. Paul Cable. Big number 92, 260-pound sophomore out of Bunkie, Louisiana.
Actually, he and Derek McKinley were the starting tackles tonight. Clifton Sylvester started a lot, was displaced by the two of those. And he just shed a couple of blockers and made that play.
Well, second down, there was a gain of about a foot on that play. So second down and 9 yards and 2 feet. Up at the top of your screen, Kevin Alexander, Sean Johnson. Wells looks to that side, fires to Alexander, complete. Run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Tim Sensley with coverage. A 4-yard pickup for the Aggies brings up 3rd and 6.
Little out and back, cutting toward the sideline pattern. And Alexander, their number 4, who's the Aggies' leading receiver coming into the game, makes the catch here, coming back toward Wells, and he rolls out of bounds. Let's watch it now on isolation as he cut back toward the sideline, coming back toward Wells. Nice play, but not the yardage they needed.
3rd down and 6. Profil Greer, the lone setback. All 3 receivers on the left side. Ivy Russell, Sean Turner, and Wells rolls out to that side, and it's picked off. Incomplete. Britt Jackson trapped the ball. Was looking for his first interception of the year, but it did bounce first, and so it brings up a 4th down situation, which brings out the punching unit.
Well, not the kind of offense the Aggies wanted to start the second half with. Here's the throw, and Jackson dives. It definitely bounced, and he trapped it before he got his hands on it. Again, Wells making that tough across-the-body throw. Right-handed quarterback moving to his left.
Nate Moriali to punt. Damon Mason back deep to receive. A very high punt. Mason calls for a fair catch at the 30-yard line and drops the ball. The ball is still loose. A flag is down at about the 28-yard line. It would appear that the coverage was probably within that 2-yard bubble that they give the receiver to catch the ball.
It's the only thing I can think of, because they can't possibly say that everything else was legal and then he was in control of the ball, because he wasn't.
Take a look at that again as we see it dropping down from the stratosphere.
Oh, well, there was an Aggie too close to him, and I think that'll be the call. He went whizzing by and tried to get out of the way, but he was within that area. And Jack Gatto is going to probably tell us as much right now.
The microphones have quit working. It's so cold. Well, it moves Southwestern Louisiana up to the 34-yard line. They go into the I formation again. Cotton and Mossick. And they give up the middle to Cotton. Plunges ahead, gain of about 2.5.
Well, nobody blocked Danilo Robinson, and then Gary Brown was really there too, as all the blocking seemed to slide to the left, and that left Danilo open to make the play. But they really figured out the blocking scheme late in the first half. But that time, the Aggies shut it off quickly.
Pickup of about 2.5 yards. 2nd down, a short 8. 2 backs, that's Cotton, that's Mossick in motion. Again to give up the middle to Cotton, and he plunges forward right up to the 1st down marker. Gary Brown with a stop for Utah State. They are calling it as a 1st down up to the 45-yard line. The Ragin' Cajun 45-yard line. 13 minutes, 14 seconds left in the 3rd period. Just underway here in the 2nd half. So look at the tight end. Cody Romero had that big reception earlier in the game.
Well, in 2 scrimmage plays to start the 2nd half, 11 rushing yards. They live on that all night long.
Mossick in motion again to give up the middle to Cotton. A big hit from Paul Gustafson. Stopped David Gill in there, holding him up for Gustafson to give the hit. Pickup of about 4 yards on the play. Bring up 2nd and 6. Kenyon Cotton has taken the snaps, taken every one of them so far.
Aggies are continuing. There's the end of that play with Cotton barreling into some Aggies. Aggies continue to go with Matt Houck and David Balls and Danilo Robinson and Johnny Williams along the front, and Gill and Brown, the inside linebackers.
That's Donald Richard in motion. Give up the middle. This time it's Mossick across midfield to the 47-yard line. Danilo Robinson with the stop. 3rd down and 3 it will be. Here's a look at Danilo, the Wendell B. Anderson scholarship holder. So political science scholarship here on campus. Danilo showing some political roots there. Third down, 3 yards to go. Ball's on the 47-yard line. The Cajuns have a little bit of confusion, and we've got another timeout. As not even just over 3 minutes into the second half, they take a timeout. 17-14 is our score. 11:43 left, and we will take a break, as the teams do. Back in a moment right after this.
Harry, don't touch the girls.
Don't touch the bangs.
Harry, just a little off the top.
Sometimes you just need a Milky Way. Nothing smooths your way so deliciously from one part of life to the next.
Harry, just a little off the top.
Nothing smooths your way like a Milky Way.
Well, are you going to have some?
What, milk chocolate? The kind that tugs at your soul, melting your willpower bit by bit, little M by little M? And you ask me if I'm going to have some.
It was just a question.
You and your questions.
Sorry.
You might think your dog wants variety, but constantly switching his food can sometimes lead to finicky eating behavior. So feed your dog a consistent diet, Purina Dog Chow brand dog food every day.
Billy, it's not right to play the trumpet in the fish bowl. Billy, please don't play with the paint jar.
Sometimes you just need a Milky Way dog. Nothing smooths your way so deliciously from one part of life to the next.
Tommy, don't sit down.
Nothing smooths your way like a Milky Way.
We're back live in Logan. It's a little cold outside.
Well, but look at the people on the left of the screen. They were strangers before they got to the game. Now they're sharing that blanket, which is nice.
Necessity, the mother of invention. All right, big third down play. 3rd and 3. That's Cotton in the middle. A toss up the middle, complete to the tight end. Romero gets all the way to the 23-yard line. Danilo Robinson providing some coverage there, but not until the damage was done. A quick toss over the right side gets the Ragin' Cajuns all the way to the Utah State 23-yard line.
And quite a bit of time for Delhomme to get it off, too. There's Danilo trailing the tight end. The question is, what's a defensive end doing downfield and coverage? The other thing is maybe the Aggies on 3rd and 3, the way the USL's been running the ball, were thinking that was the play. And they threw it instead.
And Cotton does take the ball up the middle this time, picks up about 2 yards. David Gill with a stop for the Aggies. That's what the Aggies, I'm sure, were expecting on 3rd and 3. It was another view of Cotton coming up the middle. Darren Struther, there's a look at David Gill there. Darren Struther and Franco Smith in the game for the Ragin' Cajuns. And they take their positions. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Again, Cotton muscles his way across the 15-yard line. A flag is down. Gary Brown with a stop for Utah State. The run gets up to about 1 yard shy of the first down marker. We've got an injured player. I believe that's number 51, Sam Heinen. He's the starting left guard.
All 300 pounds of him, and he's not even the biggest guy on the left side. Keno Hills goes at 302, and their backup, Wardell Reddish, at a bulky 311 pounds. This is a big offensive line. In fact, here comes Anthony Clement, number 70, who goes at 332. He's just a growing freshman. Now Heinen's going to get up, and he'll have to leave the game for at least a play.
Even the backups on this team are fairly sizable.
This is the 10th time that USL's had the ball in this game. It's the 7th time they've been in Utah State's territory. And remember, most of it was spent in the, late first quarter or so when they had the ball so many times and didn't get much out of it before they finally took the game over, right?
3 scores with 7 times being in Aggie territory. Jake Delhomme. The reverse around the right side. Richard tripped up Paul Gustafson. Richard has 1 rush on the year. He lost 4 yards on that play. He lost about 2 yards on that one. 2 rushes on the season, -6 yards. Take a look at that play again.
Yeah, the reverse after the fake one way, going the other. Boy, Gustafson did a nice job, and if he hadn't gotten him, number 9, Spencer Wagner was there too.
3rd down, 21 yards to go as the Cajuns have gone backward. Out of the shotgun. Delhomme looks and fires downfield into the outstretched arms of Donald Toomer. Interception at the 12-yard line. Donald Toomer with his 4th interception this year. His 13th career interception. He's closing in on the interception record of 18 set by Henry King back in 1965 and 66. So the Aggies will take over as Southwestern Louisiana was threatening.
Well, I was watching Toomer on that play, and all the way he was just standing there waiting for it to come right to him, watching him jump right to the ball and pick it off and stop the drive. A drive that started back at the 34-yard line. Remember, after the Aggies' punt coverage set them up in pretty good field position, but Toomer comes up with it.
Toomer's eyes were probably as big as saucers waiting for that ball to come down. Abu Wilson, not much room around the right side. Patrice Alexander forcing Abu out of bounds.
This is the 4th mistake, the 4th turnover that either, depending on how you look at it, USL has made or the Aggies have forced, and only one by Utah State, and still USL has a 3-point lead.
USL also has a history of letting up a little bit in the second half defensively. And we'll see how the 3rd and 4th quarters come into play, see what their conditioning is. Coach Weatherby told us at the beginning of last year, you can always judge a team's conditioning by how they come out in the 3rd period. Hasn't been too nice for the Aggies so far. Ivy Russell with a nice catch there, and he's outrunning defenders there all the way to the 35-yard line. Britt Jackson with a nice open field stop that really could have saved the touchdown there. As Utah State gets to the 35-yard line, 1st down.
Yeah, and again, credit to Wells for, watch Casey Brabham, if we get a chance at the replay, drawing a bead on Wells, number 40. Well, we won't see that. That's the end of the play when the catch is made and the run by Russell. But Wells really did a great job to get rid of the ball at all because he barely turned around to throw it. And watch number 40 right there in the middle of the screen coming right at him. Wells got it off and was whacked, but still made a great play.
Ivy Russell with a nice reception. Sean Johnson in motion. Fake the pitch, give to Abu Wilson up the middle. Driving those legs, a gain of about 7 yards. Casey Brabham and Orlando Thomas in on the stop. Matt Wells and the Utah State offense on this drive at least doing what they were doing back in the 1st quarter.
Now here's that play we just watched and the run, and look at that ball. Boy, good job to keep control of it. The previous play, the pass that Wells got off, was a 23-yarder. That's the longest pass play for the Aggies tonight.
Well, there was a massive change in the receivers as in these plays. Kendrick Huey in the game. Robert Thomas, number 16 in the game. Ivy Russell back in. He's in motion. Give to Abu up the middle again. Got a little bit of running room. Gets across the 1st down marker all the way to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st down for Utah State. Knocking on the door of Cajun territory.
Off the blocks of Robert Holmes and Sean Griswold. There's Abu. But again, more times than not tonight, we've seen good blocking by the offensive line. And you know as well as I do, if you followed Utah State, that's been the problem this year. They haven't been getting it. And Abu was the guy who said that it was coming together in that Mud Bowl game against Louisiana Tech. Even though it was hard to judge in those conditions, he said, I could tell. They're coming together as an offensive line, and that it's working tonight.
1st down and 10. Sean Johnson in motion. Pitch back to Abu again. Gets control of the ball and gets about a yard. Patrice Alexander put every one of his 256 pounds to work there and forced Abu Wilson backward. As he picked up about a yard, it'll be 2nd down and 9. Watch Patrice Alexander come into your picture here. And that's the end of the run right there.
That was his 13th run of the night and his 98th yard. So the next one probably puts him over 100.
The ball is right on the midfield line. Abu Wilson in the backfield. Goes in motion to the left side. 3 wide outs to the right side. Matt Wells, a quick toss to Ivy Russell. Shakes one tackler loose. Ivy Russell in a foot race all the way down to the 22-yard line. 1st down, Utah State.
Well, I think it's another big play by Wells because, again, the pressure was there, and again, he got rid of it. Look at this. There was pressure from his left side. Fernando Thomas, their number 6, misses the tackle. And finally, he's brought down by Sensley, yeah.
Sensley comes in, goes for the fumble first. That's the first snag you try to make on an open field runner to try to make that ball pop loose. Then you got to get the tackle, however, because if he shakes that tackle loose, it's 6 points. Ball's at the 22-yard line. Abu Wilson in the backfield. An early snap caught everyone off guard. Whistles and flags everywhere. Just like the homecoming parade today. They came right outside of our hotel. Whistles, sirens, everything.
Yeah, 1 o'clock woke you up.
Yeah. Well, the penalties against the Cajuns, and so it moves the Aggies even further down the field. 65th homecoming this year.
We have a new longest run tonight. Oh, pass, I'm sorry. Longest pass tonight, 28 yards. Previous was 23.
Breaking records as we go. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Aggies are now first down, 5 yards to go. Ball is on the 17-yard line, back inside that blue zone. Williams in motion. Flip back to Abu Wilson, who finds nowhere to go. Nothing doing there. It'll be second down and 5. Derek McKinley with a stop.
McKinley literally grabbed, I think, Robert Holmes and just shoved him right into Abu Wilson. So Abu stays under 100 yards because of McKinley's fine play.
Abu's knocking on the door of the century mark here. Former high school hurdles champion Abu Wilson was. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left. Wells back, looks, fires. Just past Kevin Alexander. He was set to make the catch on about the 9-yard line.
You noticed how we have not said Orlando Thomas's name a great deal tonight? For whatever reason. I think maybe he's being picked up on a lot of those blitzes he's famous for. Well, in and out of the hands there of
Kevin Alexander.
Alexander, the wide receiver.
Well, it's 3rd and 5. Aggies would like to get 6 here. No one left in the backfield after Wilson vacated it. Wells flushed out of the pocket, running for his life around the right side. And he plops down at about the 15-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down. A pickup of 2, Pat Brennan.
There you see Wells arguing for a more favorable spot. Well, let's decide for ourselves as he's chased out of the pocket, running toward the Aggie sideline. This is a design pass play, but no way now. He can't find anybody. Tripped up, and where does he go down? I'd say at about the...
Right at the 15.
15. I guess that's where they put it.
Well, maybe they know what they're doing after all, huh? 4th down. This is a 32-yard attempt. The kick is up and good. And we've got a tie ball game here with just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Aggies and Micah Noor. As Micah Noor nails his 6th field goal of the season, we'll take a break. It's all tied up, 17-17. Don't go away.
This label tells you it's 100% cotton. This label tells you it's 100% real cheese. And this label tells you it's 100% low fares. Always check the label. Southwest, the low-fare airline. Southwest Airlines wrote the book on low fares. And it's available in paperback. Low fares on every seat, every flight, everywhere we fly. Southwest, the low-fare airline.
When it comes to health care, there's one person who is more important to you than anyone else. It's your doctor. And the truth is, no one doctor is right for everybody. That's why it's important to have a health plan that gives you a choice. Blue Cross and Blue Shield gives you the largest choice of physicians in the state. So you can choose the one who's right for you. Ask your employer about Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the company of choice.
We're back in Logan, Utah. Carlton Wing here along with Craig Hislop. The Aggies have just scored to tie the game up at 17. Coach Zorn last night on the KJazz Sports Ticket promised a good game. He said it would be close and tight and kind of have the air of a conference championship, and it has so far as we're all tied up at 17. Teams fighting and scratching for every yard. Micah Noor here with a 32-yard kick has tied the game. And we are set for the kickoff. And this one is handled by Brian Jackson, number 45, who gets to the 20-plus, falls forward to the 24-yard line.
Kenyatta Green, who gets most of his playing time on the special teams, made the stop along with Sean Coleman there, number 31.
Brian Jackson and Robert Jewell have been returning the kicks. And after Jewell's one return for about 35 yards, it's sure the Aggies like to keep it away from him. 1st and 10, ball on the 25-yard line. Again, the give to Cotton, and again, he's got some room and motors across the first down mark. Sean Coleman with the stop, and an 11-yard gain is a very quick first down for the Cajuns.
Since the early part of the second quarter, they have run mostly at will against Utah State. The reason the Aggies were leading in the first half was because they were stopping the run, and they haven't for the most part since then.
At the 31-yard line. The officials have come in. The play clock has gone down to the double zeros there. And we don't know if that's an accident on the officials' part or an accident on the Cajuns' part. No flag, so we'll kind of blame the officials here. There it's showing 25 now. And is just now starting. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Out of the I formation. The give up the middle. That's Mossick. Mossick gets to the 43-yard line. Sean Coleman again with a stop. Coach Weatherby is on the sidelines there. You can see he is just now leaving the field of play. He's shouting some encouragement to his defense, who have all of a sudden provided plenty of holes for the running game of the Ragin' Cajuns. Here's a look at Coach Weatherby, a very, very enthusiastic coach. Gets the crowd and the players into it. Helps keep the spirits up. And there is a huge hit. Gary Brown, number 26, made sure there was no gain on that play.
Well, the Aggies going to have more of that, or it's going to be a struggle for him tonight. Boy, Brown stood him right up, didn't he? Nice tackle right in the middle of the field, and he's taken on a guy that outweighs him by 20, 30, 40 pounds.
We mentioned Kenyon Cotton didn't go backward very often, but he did on that play. Third down, 1 yard to go. And that's Cotton again. And he squeezes forward a gain of about 3 yards. First down. As the ball is now on the 48-yard line. Now the Cajuns are knocking on Aggie territory.
Well, it's been rare when they haven't been in Utah State territory. 93 yards for Cotton, so it's kind of become a battle between Cotton and Utah State's Abu Wilson for the rushing figures tonight.
1st and 10 out of the I formation. Cotton and Mossick. The fake to Cotton to give to Mossick, but Paul Gustafson was there. A loss of about 6 yards on the play. Some negative yardage puts the Cajuns all the way back to their own 41-yard line. Make that a loss of 7, so it brings up 2nd and 17. Take a look at that play again. The defense penetrated all of the blocking holes, and there's Gustafson, who has made several tackles this evening in just that manner. One-on-one, grabs the legs, and the runner does not get away. 2nd down, 17. Ball's on the 41-yard line. Lone setback is Cotton. Fake. Throw out to Richard. First time we've seen him tonight at the 46-yard line. Still not to the original line of scrimmage. Paul Gustafson again on the play for the Aggies.
That was the 14th play for USL in the second half, and 11 of the 14 have been running plays. The last one was a running play, but trying to get to the outside, and the Aggies spread it out. This time, DeLome throws it. Richard makes the catch, but it's not worth a lot. The pound-ahead running game, for the most part, has been the best thing.
Big third down play. Third down, 12 yards to go. In motion, that's Richard. Nowhere to go. He just hurls it down the field, going for Richard, who fights off McMillan but drops the ball.
But they're going to bring it back anyway because there was a obvious holding call when Gustafson was drawing a line on the quarterback and was grabbed by one of the offensive linemen right out in the open. Very obvious, although Richard almost made a great play on that.
Jake Delhomme just hurled the ball down the field, and it was Donald Richard was able to wrest away the coverage there, but unable to come up with the ball, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. And as the Aggies decline the penalty, it is 4th down.
Holding on the offense. Penalty declined. 4th down.
4th down and 12 yards to go. Take a look at this play again and watch Gustafson. You see the hold there that freed Delhomme to pass. And so now we've got the punting unit on board. Kevin Alexander back standing on his own 12-yard line. 1:39 seconds left in the 3rd period. Alexander takes it on his 17. Looking for some room. Doesn't find much. Falls forward to the 22-yard line. And if I'm right, the clock did not tick at all. We've still got 1:29. We will take a break. Score is tied 17-17. It's a thriller in the Big West Conference. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you're the kind of person who enjoys distinction, excellence, and quality, look no further than Larry H. Miller Cadillac. You see, at Larry H. Miller Cadillac, we specialize in adding custom details and accessories to make your luxury automobile even more distinctive. Owning a Cadillac sets you apart, but owning a fully accessorized Cadillac from Larry H. Miller puts you in a class by yourself. Stop in for your own Larry H. Miller Limited Edition Cadillac.
Nationally famous, the AT&T Traveling Technology Truck is on display exclusively at R.C. Willey. Also exclusively at R.C. Willey, this AT&T 486SX250 desktop computer, 4 meg of RAM plus fax modem with voicemail, software, 6 online services, and color monitor, $9.99 after factory rebates. AT&T multimedia computers with monitors start as low as $12.99 after rebates. The sales at all stores, but the AT&T Technology Semi will be at the Syracuse store this Friday and Saturday. Nobody beats R.C. Willey. Nobody.
We've got a tied one here in Logan, Utah. Big West Conference co-champs of a year ago are battling it out 17-17 here just at the end of the 3rd quarter. Also a little dueling field position. The Aggies now have the ball following the punt to the 23-yard line. Look at head coach Charlie Weatherby. A win tonight brings him even up at 15 wins with 15 losses this in his 3rd season. But he is 10-4 in Big West Conference games. Ivy Russell in motion. 1st down 10. Profile Greer, and there are just simply a lot of people over on that side, and he was unable to find any room. Joe Bailey there providing most of the coverage there on Profile that knocked him out of bounds.
It's like the offensive line just did a little blocking scheme where everybody took a step to the right. Unfortunately, the USL front people did the same thing and slid with the flow, and every possible lane was closed, and thus there's really no gain.
Loss of about 3 on the play. 2nd down 13. Single set back again is Greer. 3 wide outs to the left side. Greer provides a block that saves Matt Wells temporarily, and Wells is forced out of bounds for a loss again. This time another 3 yards. Jeff Mitchell forces Wells out. Loss of about 2.5 yards on the play. We've been going backwards.
I thought for just a second that the play was actually designed to be a handoff. And Wells turned and saw number 40 coming at him and thought, well, maybe I shouldn't give it to Profile. I'll keep it and run the other way because it was very well defended. And boy, they continue to blitz with those outside people.
Unable to pick that one up as a look at Matt Wells' numbers. 117 yards. Has been able to keep the ball out of the defender's hands, however. No interceptions tonight. And that is one of the big reasons why Utah State has been able to stay in this game, 17-17. Wells back to pass. Whistles are blowing. And the clock is down to zeros again. So that'll be 5 yards in the southern direction. As the Aggies have taken the ball, they started with it at the 23. They are now at the 13. 10 yards in the reverse direction. 3rd down. I mentioned Matt Wells is averaging 135 yards passing a game. And back in Sallisaw, Oklahoma, an all-star in both baseball, football, and basketball. Profil Greer in motion. Third and very long. Wells has nowhere to go. He's going to try to use some speed, but unable to elude the arms of Clifton Sylvester, 288-pound junior.
Yeah, I think they had in mind to try to fool him this time with a draw with the quarterback. A step 2 or 3 back, step up and try to find an opening, but really not there, or he closed up as quickly as it was there.
Nate Moriali is about to establish residency down there inside the 10-yard line. He's been there quite a bit. The seconds are winding down here in the fourth quarter. We've got 8 left and ticking. Moriali will get the punt off. Nearly blocked. But Damon Mason takes it at the 44-yard line. A little bumping in with his coverage, or his blocking, excuse me, at the 49-yard line. Mason is able to get back into Aggie territory where the Cajuns will start her off 1st and 10. It's the end of the third quarter. We begin the fourth quarter, still tied up 17-17.
Ernst is taking 20% off everything in the store. Saturday and Sunday only. The Ernst 20% off customer appreciation sale. Why? Ernst appreciates your business, so we're getting you 20% off everything. Wow, everything. It's an amazing sale on amazing merchandise, quality brand names, 20% off. 20% off. Don't thank us. Thank you. It's Ernst 20% off customer appreciation sale. Saturday and Sunday only at Ernst.
You can follow your recipe to the letter, but for the crispiest, juiciest chicken, you need a really great oil. That is why I only use Crisco. You can trust Crisco to get chicken crispy outside, juicy inside, every time. The taste is so light, never heavy, never oily. And you know Crisco is 100% pure vegetable oil. To be sure your chicken is crispy, make sure your oil is Crisco.
AT&T, this is Margaret.
Margie, tell me about AT&T True USA Savings.
Certainly.
What's the monthly fee?
No fee.
No fee?
No fee! Make $25 in calls a month, and we'll subtract 20% off your AT&T bill.
Wow!
I'm sick of the circles!
You got circles?
No calling circles. You could save to anybody in the U.S. you want to call.
No circles. Call anybody.
Anybody? Anybody?
Anybody!
AT&T True USA Savings. Save 20% to anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Your true voice.
What if you took this nice kid from Philly and dropped him like smack dab in the middle of Bel Air?
I am falling in that cane. Get up.
Gave him a caring family.
I really, really hate you.
And a cheerful servant.
Dinner is served.
To take care of his every need.
I would prefer an assassin's bullet.
All right, so it sounds far-fetched. But it's very funny. The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, all week long.
Monday through Saturday at 5:30 on KJazz 14.
We're back at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 17-17. Utah State able to escape the dangerous third quarter that has plagued them in just about every game so far this season. They were able to score 3 points, held the opposition to 0. But the Cajuns now have, as Cotton muscles his way all the way to the 35-yard line. Spencer Wagner with a tackle. I was just getting ready to say how USL was able to start this quarter off in Aggie territory, and now they have driven deeper still.
Well, the Aggies have not mustered. Let's watch Cotton on the play. And again, the blocking up front for USL continues to be effective. They have not, the Aggies offensively, have not put together as many yards in the second and third quarters together as they had in the first. That's one of the problems. The other one is they haven't solved this blocking scheme yet of the runners. There goes Cotton again.
Cotton again muscles his way to the 19-yard line. Wagner and Scow forced to save the touchdown. They're marking it now at the 18-yard line. A little bit of deja vu. We talk about how Utah State needs to stop the run, and they have been unable to do so. Boy,
goodness, look at that. There's no blue jerseys around there for the few instances that it took him to get downfield.
Well, the offensive line able to create that gaping hole for Kenyon Cotton. Cotton again muscles ahead, gain of about 5. Danilo Robinson with a stop for Utah State. But the coaching staff for USL has obviously seen something that the Aggies have thus far been unable to adjust to.
You know, it's almost like Carlton, after an exciting first quarter for Utah State, and still a tight football game. We're almost settling back into the mode of the defense having to hold everybody off because the offense is starting to sputter again for Utah State.
Pryor gains about a yard, falls forward. David Gill with a stop for Utah State. That brings up a 3rd down and 5 situation. The ball is on the 13-yard line. As the Cajuns play musical receivers and musical backfield, they've switched about 3 or 4 players on this particular play. We'll see Mossick when we get back. There's Mossick, Ron Thomas, Richard in the backfield, Cotton where he has been mostly, unless he's running through the Aggie defense. Delhomme, a wide open Mossick. Touchdown, Southwestern Louisiana. Uncovered. Steve Mossick came off of the right side and found open territory, and Jake Delhomme found him.
Cotton cutting down Danilo Robinson to give Delhomme a little more time. Boy, a mixed-up coverage on that one, and the tie is broken.
On the Aggie defense, all of a sudden on those last 4 or 5 plays looked like they were extremely tired. Mike Schaefer in for the extra point. He's only missed 1 all year and makes this one. And so the University of Southwestern Louisiana's Ragin' Cajuns jump out to a 7-point lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. 24-17 is your score. We'll be back right after this.
Airline infractions with Southwest Airlines Chairman Herb Kelleher.
When other airlines commit penalties, I call them on it.
Browsing the baggage.
Uh-oh, looks like you're not going to get this one off on time.
Delay of flight.
I said single file.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike service.
Why can Herb call infractions on other airlines? Because Southwest is #1 in baggage handling, on-time arrivals, and customer satisfaction.
Next time you fly, make the right call.
Drapery 69%, 87%, up to 113% off. Custom blinds, buy one, get 23.5 free.
Get real. Exaggerated window covering price claims don't mean a thing. Check the bottom line and then decide who really has the best price.
Granite Furniture has been doing custom windows for more than 80 years. Free in-home consultation, full service, and Granite Furniture will not be undersold.
Granite Furniture, always your best drapery buy. Always.
The Ragin' Cajuns are taking the field, set to kick the ball off. They have just taken a 7-point lead in this game. The Cajuns are 3-1 in the Big West Conference. They have one conference game remaining after this one, and then they will know their fate. Utah State's kind of on the other side of their conference schedule. They're only 1-1. They have several more hurdles to clear, providing they clear this one. Both coaches have expressed the need for this game. This is a must-win situation for both teams. 5 plays, 51 yards.
That was all on the ground except for the pass at the end of it. They're living with the running game right now.
And the ball squirts out of bounds. The flag will fly. And the Aggies will have the option to take over at the 35-yard line. They tried that pop-up again. I tell you what, every time Southwestern Louisiana kicks the ball, we ought to have the infield fly rule in effect because the ball just pops right up to the tight end. And so the Aggies will take over. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 13 minutes, 5 seconds left in the game.
Out of bounds, 35-yard line, first down.
Well, Matt Wells and the Utah State offense take the field. Sean Turner, Ivy Russell, Kevin Alexander, the receivers. Abu Wilson in the backfield for Utah State. 65 yards from their goal. Abu Wilson met behind the line of scrimmage. Clifton Sylvester, a loss of about 3 yards on the play. 288 pounds to Abu Wilson's 191 pounds. And that is the result. 2nd down and 12. Ivy Russell leaves the game. There's a look at Clifton Sylvester out of Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. And if I'm right, I think that is the home of the International Crawfish Festival, Craig. We got to head down there someday. Call our travel agents.
I've had crawfish in Louisiana. Very good.
Matt Wells forced to get rid of the ball. It bounces out of the hands of Kevin Alexander and into the hands of Novich Hunter, who is now an eligible receiver. He is an eligible receiver. And but that's a loss of about 3 yards on the play. Let's take a look at how this develops.
Right. It's tipped up. There's Novich, 57 on the ground. Obviously has to have good hands. He came here to play basketball. He used to play at St. Peter's on the eastern seaboard. Another look at it. It's tipped. It's going to be loose. And then we're going to see Novich grab it with his left arm and go down.
That makes him eligible. Oh, my.
Took him a while to figure that out, didn't it?
Well, they're saying he was an ineligible receiver off the bobble. And they're sorting this out. Maybe one of the officials did not see that Alexander touched the ball first. I think we might get some explanation.
5-yard penalty and a loss of down.
Ooh.
It will be third down.
Maybe we are misunderstanding the rule, because I thought the ball was, if anybody could grab it, once that kind of thing had happened.
The quarterback can grab it after a bobbled ball. It's live, it's fair, but it's not happening right now. It's third down. Third down and 20. The loss of down and the penalty puts the Aggies back on their 25-yard line, as we have finally sorted out through the mess. 12 minutes, 6 seconds left in this game. And the Aggies seem to be holding up with whatever their play is. Now the clock starts again.
This is the, I think, the 4th time in the second half the Aggies have had the ball. 5th time. And the second or third drive, when they scored the field goal, was the longest drive of the night. But they didn't get across the goal line.
Abu Wilson in the backfield. Matt Wells chased out of the pocket. Actually wasn't even able to get out of the pocket before Clifton Sylvester and Derek McKinley wrapped themselves around him. Loss of about 5 yards on the play. And back comes the Utah State punting unit. Matt Wells didn't have much time to even find the first receiver, much less check off to number 2 and 3. And so as the clock ticks with 11 minutes and 25 seconds and counting, Utah State punts the ball away. Again, with that's Nate Moriali, a busy man tonight. Damon Mason, a beautiful punt. Damon Mason gets it on the 33-yard line, and that's met by Tyrone Trimble, Todd Wilson. Who else was all through there? Corey Alexander. Beautiful coverage from the Utah State punt team. The Cajuns will take over on the 36-yard line, their own 36. As we battle for field position again. Jake Delhomme back in the huddle for the Cajuns. A touchdown here would make it awfully difficult for the Aggies.
They have not failed to get into Utah State territory the second half.
Johnny Williams was right there. But again, Kenyon Cotton muscles forward, picks up about 4 yards on the play. Make that 5.
With the turn of events here a little bit in the second half, you wonder if these big offensive line people are just sort of wearing down the Aggies front. I mean, Matt Hawk at 235 is not the world's biggest defensive tackler. So Cotton well over 136 yards.
That's 100 yards over his average. There was some muscle there. Steve Mossick unable to find room. Lonnie Johnson for the Aggies blocking the hole and making the back. Actually, no gain. No gain on that play.
Lonnie's only a little over 240 yards. He's the guy that's been coming in all night for David Balls. And Ben Crosland is also in there. And Crosland at, what, 240. The Aggies are undersized against this big front for USL.
Third down and 4. Cotton and Mossick. Mossick gets the ball. Trimble forces him to the outside. Nice open field tackle. Gary Brown saved the first down.
When the play goes to the outside, when it's strung out a little bit, and the Aggies get to be a little more athletic, then things go a little better defensively, it seems like. Here's Mossick with the pitch. Gary's just sliding right along the line of scrimmage. He's always been able to run, and he makes a great play there for the Aggies.
Well, brings out the punting unit. Kevin Alexander standing on his 20-yard line. That was last where the Aggies saw the ball. And so after 3 defensive plays and a nice job of the defense, oh boy, there it goes into the end zone. Thankfully for Kevin Alexander, as he saw it kind of hold up after a couple of bounces. We will take a break. 9 minutes, 21 seconds left in this game. Do not go away. This is a huge contest, 17-24, Utah State.
Hot Rod Hundley here for Upper Limit Fitness Warehouse. When I bought my fitness equipment, I came to Upper Limit for the unbelievable warehouse prices and selection. Besides that, they're the fitness experts. Nobody knows fitness like these guys. And the equipment, you gotta love it, baby. Come on in to Upper Limit at 815 West 2400 South in Salt Lake or 1345 South State in Orem and see the exercise equipment experts. And remember, just like the Jazz, they're your coaches too.
Ernst is taking 20% off everything in the store. Saturday and Sunday only. The Ernst 20% off customer appreciation sale. Why? Ernst appreciates your business, so we're getting you 20% off everything. Wow, everything. It's an amazing sale on amazing merchandise, quality brand names, 20% off. 20% off. Don't thank us. Thank you. It's Ernst 20% off customer appreciation sale. Saturday and Sunday only at Ernst.
Well, the Aggies, after going backward in their last offensive possession, they ended with the ball on the 20-yard line. They punted away. 3 plays later, after a nice defensive stand, the Aggies have the ball back again on the 20-yard line. This time it's 1st and 10, though. Profil Greer back in the game. That's Ivy Russell in motion. The give to Greer. He motors ahead, a pickup of about 3.5 yards.
Now, kind of looking ahead here, if the Aggies drive the field and score to make it a 1-point game, do they go for the tie or do they go for a 2-point conversion? I think a tie has the same effect as a loss when you look at the standings and the tiebreaker system and so forth. So you would assume that the 2-point conversion, if that thinking is correct, would be a foregone conclusion.
Oftentimes, the people will go for a tie if they're undefeated in the conference, but one loss here, they need the win. Both teams desperately need this win. Profil Greer through traffic, able to get ahead to the 29-yard line, 1 yard short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Clifton Sylvester with a stop for the Cajuns. 8 minutes, 30 seconds and counting left in the game. USL 24, Utah State 17. Ivy Russell, you saw him enter the screen with the play. Matt Wells delivers it to the rest of the group. Profil Greer, the lone setback. 3 wideouts along the left side. Ivy Russell, Sean Turner, and Kevin Alexander. Russell goes in motion to the right side. Excuse me, to the left side. Greer finds no room, loses 2 yards, brings up 4th down.
Nobody blocked Alexander that time. It's rare when they don't have a linebacker or a DB or a couple of them blitzing on every play. And most of the time now it's paying off.
And Patrice Alexander, the 2nd team All Big West player, able to make the play happen and keep the Aggies out.
I want you to take a look right here now. That's Alexander coming through the line, and I don't think that anybody gets much of a hand on him. In fact, he bumps right off of Holmes and chases Greer down, and that's how the play winds up.
Oh, we've got whistles blowing again. A timeout, Southwestern Louisiana. Damon Mason was set to receive the punt from Nate Moriali. Possibly not enough or too many players on the field, but we will take a break with 7 minutes, 22 seconds left in this game. Utah State down by 7 to the Southwestern Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
This morning, Ann's parents have to wake up early. Fortunately, they've got a little help.
Come on, wake up. Today, our daughter Ann's moving back to Redmond Falls. This'll wake him up.
Folger's coffee.
Annie will be so surprised to see us all.
The secret? Mountain-grown beans. Aroma roasted to capture the best that's in them.
Oh, look. They're here. Mornings like this, you don't want to miss a moment.
Shake it.
No dandruff, you've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes, you've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Sinus sufferers, how come your pill doesn't relieve sinus pressure 24 hours? Effidac 24 does. Other pills last 6 hours or 12, but one Effidac relieves 24 hours. Effidac. Keep sinus pressure from coming back.
We're back, and Nate Moriali is back where he has been for most of the evening. He is standing on his own 14-yard line, set for the punt. Damon Mason on his 39-yard line to receive the punt. Moriali gets off a nice hanging punt. Mason takes it at the 34-yard line, brought down at about the 41. Spinning through the tacklers, and USL has nice field position with just over 7 minutes left in this game.
Well, there's a real need now for the Aggie defense to duplicate what they did the last time they were on the field.
Evidently a flag down.
Holding call
against USL. So the Cajuns will be pushed back a little further. There are 2 flags way back on the Utah State 30-yard line.
We have a 10-yard penalty holding against the receiving team. Post-scrimmage kick, spot enforcement, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that was spoken in code, but what that means is that the Cajuns will take over on their own 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
Just looking at the way the schedule is going to go from here on out and how it's going to affect these teams, the Aggies after tonight have to go to Pacific and Nevada before hosting New Mexico State. And the Pacific assignment is not that easy. They go on the road again today and win in the conference. They're 2-1. They won at Arkansas State. This is the next to the last game for USL. They finish up in a couple of weeks with UNLV. And as you said, Carlton, earlier, then they'll pretty well know their situation as they wait for Nevada to go to San Jose, play Utah State in Reno, and then go to UNLV. That UNLV-Nevada game in Las Vegas is looming sort of big right now. Both those teams undefeated.
7 minutes, 13 seconds left. The give up the middle. A gain of about 2 yards. Dave Balls with a stop for Utah State. Kenyon Cotton, a busy man tonight, but a successful one. His running has put the Ragin' Cajuns where they are on the scoreboard, which is 7 points up, 24-17. 6 minutes, 50 seconds and counting left in this game. USL with the ball on their own 27-yard line.
And again, they just want to go to what's earned them this much. Run it, run out the clock.
Kenyon Cotton met by David Gill. This time Cotton only gets about a yard, which the Aggies have to look at being very successful. The clock is in favor of USL at this point. The Cajuns would like to burn off as much as they can. You will probably not see too many tosses into the air to risk the clock stopping. You will also probably not see too many sweeps where runners head out of bounds.
They only have 1 timeout left, which is not as significant as Utah State having 3 timeouts left here with 6 minutes to go.
3rd down and 6. Big play. Aggies would like to stop them here. Delhomme running, eluding the arms of a would-be tackler, and then the ball eludes the arms of the would-be receiver. That being number 15, Ron Thomas.
Well,
McMillan with coverage. Nice coverage there.
They're going a little bit crazy on the USL sideline, trying to milk a pass interference call, and I just don't think it was there.
Take a look at that again. You see Delhomme elude the arms. That's Tyrone Trimble.
Boy, he threw that off balance, off the wrong foot, and everything else. McMillan's there, but he's trailing the receiver. There's Chuck McMillan, number 20, but it was still long and incomplete.
And contrary to the pass interference call that was called against USL earlier in the game, McMillan was turning and going for the ball, which he has as much right to as the receiver does. 4th down, 6 yards to go. Punting situation now, and we see the punt. Kind of a line drive kick that Alexander will let bounce and will stay away from. 21-yard line, the ball is down. Utah State will take over. 5 minutes, 48 seconds left in this game. Plenty of time for an Aggie drive, should they be so inclined. There is Matt Wells getting his instructions from the sideline. as to what to do next. The Aggies have been able to, as we mentioned earlier, elude some of the disasters that have taken place in second halves in previous games. The Aggies are in a position to win this one.
Their second drive of the second half led to their only score of the second half, a field goal. And on that drive, Wells made 2 big plays, getting rid of the ball under pressure. He's got to come up with that kind of thing right now.
Abu Wilson in the backfield again for the Aggies. He takes the ball, works around his left, and finds about 7 yards before he's muscled out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Stops the clock at 5:42. John Harris with the tackle for the Cajuns.
Aggies continue to go with Tuione, Holmes, Griswold. I'm trying to pick out all the linemen here. Brandon Dyson, the freshman who's been moved to about every position on the line, and he's a true freshman, continues to play at the 1 tackle spot. And Novich Hunter's played most of the game at the other one.
Mike Hamilton in at tight end. There's Matt Wells approaching the line, facing second down, 4 yards to go. Ball's on the 28-yard line. That's Abu Wilson in motion to his left. Wells looks, fires, intercepted. Intercepted. That's Alexander, who could go all the way. Matt Wells with a saving tackle saves the touchdown. But the ball will be at about the 6-yard line. Matt Wells picked a rather poor time to throw that ball. Patrice Alexander, his 3rd interception of the year.
Here's Wells backpedaling, looking and throwing to the left, and Alexander picks it off right there at about the 34-yard line. Really 2 defenders between the intended receiver and the thrower of the ball. Here's another look at it from ground level. Boy, it was right to Alexander, too.
Patrice Alexander got a birthday gift. He turns 22 tomorrow. He will remember this for a while. The ball is at the 5-yard line. 3 runners in the backfield. The give is to Cotton. He muscles ahead to about the 2.5-yard line. A little bit of taunting there for Eddie Davis, number 56 for Utah State. Second down and goal. Cotton, the busy man. You also have to think Cotton will be very active in this drive as well.
I think a quick total would show 4 turnovers tonight by USL, 2 by the Aggies. The second one here just really big right now with 5 minutes left.
Cotton again over the top, be about half a yard shy of the goal line. Bring up 3rd and goal. As we mentioned before, Cotton is their short yardage expert. He averages 39 yards a game, and they use him primarily when they need a couple or three big yards. And he has been able to provide a lot more than that this evening. But right now, they only need a little bit less than 1 yard. Again to give to Cotton. He does not make it. Does not make it. Probably picked up about a foot on that play, but is shy of the goal line. Brings up 4th and goal.
DeLome is saying, let's go for it. And there's some indecision on the sideline here.
The coach has said, we will kick it now. So that brings on the foot of Mike Schaefer. Earlier, he broke the school record for field goals consecutively, 10 for 10 this season. He missed the last one of last season, so started off with a clean slate this year. This is about as short a field goal as there is. Up and good. And the Cajuns take a 10-point lead with 3 minutes 51 seconds left in this game. Mike Schaefer now 11 for 11. That was a 17-yard field goal. It puts the Cajuns up by 2 scores. Now the Aggies have to score quickly and then score again. 3 minutes 51 seconds left. We'll see the arm of Matt Wells. We'll see the receiving of folks like Sean Turner, Kevin Alexander, the big play man, as well.
Well, we've seen in a couple of games we've done this year, we know Wells has an arm. He has a very strong arm. A couple of scores have come off some, like what we call them the biz trick plays, but they're going to need something like that, and in duplicate, really.
And the big thing is Matt Wells is going to need enough time behind the line of scrimmage to be able to find those first 2 receivers. Something that has come and gone in spurts this evening. Sometimes Matt Wells has been able to. Sometimes he hasn't. Sometimes he's been able to read the blitz. Sometimes he hasn't even had enough time to adjust for that.
Another thing that the Aggies have done this year, you remember the Alexander return against Colorado State for a touchdown. Well, he's back there with Profale Greer now. That's a quick way to changed the complexion of a game, the kicking game.
Mike Schaefer set to kick for the Cajuns. Both Alexander and Greer are standing on their own 5-yard line. More importantly, Mike Hamilton is standing on his 29-yard line, and that's where all these kicks have gone, these little short pop-ups. Hamilton again picks it up at the 20. And he motors ahead to about the 29, maybe falls forward to the 30, where the Aggies will take over. They're trying to keep it away from their big play men.
Well, it's smart football, and it's worked tonight. For the most part, Alexander hasn't been, you know, a factor in the game. He had one really nice return, but they just kept it away from him.
3 minutes, 47 seconds left. Aggies are 10 points down. Matt Wells turning in a fairly decent night. That interception, however, hurt on the last drive. See what Matt's able to come up with now. 1st and 10. The give to Greer. Through traffic. Pickup of about 3.5, maybe 4 yards before Joe Bailey brings down the 191-pound or 185-pound Greer. Clock is ticking now. 3.5 minutes. 2nd down, 6 yards to go after the 4-yard pickup. Again, Greer the lone setback. Up at the top of the screen, Ivy Russell and Kevin Alexander. Greer goes in motion to the left side. Nowhere to go. Matt Wells will run it himself. He's got the 1st down and more. Gets to about midfield, just shy. Brought down by Orlando Thomas. But the Aggies do get up to midfield.
And stop the clock with 3:10 left on the 1st down run. It's not. It looked like a quarterback draw. Maybe that was the design all the way. And whatever the case, a nice run by Matt.
The clock will start again as soon as the chains are set. That is started now. 3 minutes, 6 seconds. Wells barking out orders. 1st and 10. Ball's at midfield. Wells rolls out to his right side, tosses out of bounds. Sean Turner was covered, and he really just kind of threw it out so that nobody else could get it, and also it stops the clock.
Yeah, Tim Sensley did as good a job as you can do. He stayed step for step, and when Turner turned to the sideline, he stepped in front of him, so there's no way that pass was going to be completed.
So the clock has stopped with 2 minutes and 58 seconds now. It's 2nd down. Kevin Alexander, Ivy Russell at the top of the screen. At the bottom of your screen, that's Sean Johnson and Sean Turner. In the backfield is Profile Greer. He blocks. Matt Wells has nowhere to throw to. He's on the run, and he will not make it past the line of scrimmage. Patrice Alexander utilizes his speed, chases down Matt Wells. That's Patrice. Looks like he's down. Well, the trainers, a couple of trainers are coming onto the field. They don't know how serious the injury is. Patrice is up now. Shaken up just a little bit. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. The clock has stopped. It's 3rd down. There are the fans. It's not showing much faith in the 2 minute and 45-second drill here. Probably a little cool. They'll go home and watch the rest of it on Cagins, I'm sure. Look at how many timeouts are remaining. The Aggies, should they score, they will need those, because they will have to go for the onside kick, get the ball back, and try to utilize as few of those precious seconds as possible. Charlie Weatherby has seen a lot of close games in these night games. They've all seemed to have gone down to the wire. This one came down to that field goal.
Yeah, the loss by 4 to Baylor under the lights here last year. The loss by 4 to Nevada under the lights here last year. The loss by, what was it, 16 to Utah this year, and by 2 to UNLV. And right now we got a 10-point game.
2 minutes, 45 seconds left. 3rd down and 10. Aggies must convert here. Abu Wilson in motion to the top of your screen. Matt Wells looks to Abu first. Rolls out to his right side. And off the bobble, that's Hamilton. And he muscles ahead for the 1st down. A huge play. Off the bobbled pass.
Garrett Johnson, number 19, is the guy who slapped it. He thought he'd done his job. And really he had, except there was another Aggie there to do his job. There's Wells, the throw, the tip. Now we try to find the ball. Turner was the intended receiver.
Hamilton has to get across the next line, and he did so, making for a 1st down for the Aggies at the 39-yard line. Wells looks, fires out of bounds. There was pressure in the backfield. That was number 48, Jeff Mitchell, forcing Wells. Wells knew he didn't have much time. He needed to get rid of the ball, so he just fired it out of bounds. The nearest receiver was Kevin Alexander. Nowhere to go. Alexander again covered tight by Tim Sensley.
But we came into this game knowing that the two secondaries were veteran units, both of them, and we're seeing it from USL now.
Second down and 10. Kevin Alexander, Ivy Russell along the left side. Profil Greer in the backfield. Matt Wells turns, fires, has no room, just has to get rid of the ball, and was fortunate to do that. It was Mitchell again in the backfield. Matt Wells is a little upset. I wonder if he's asking for a roughing the passer penalty. Not going to get it. Third down and 10. Back again at this situation. Aggies have the ball at the 39-yard line. Actually, maybe the 38.5. They have to get into the end zone in order to stay alive in this game. Mike Hamilton brings the play in as Sean Johnson leaves the game. Sean Turner, Kevin Alexander, Ivy Russell all running over to the left side.
Time clock to 2 now.
Just got it off. Again, Matt. The ball was loose. We'll see what they call that. I have not seen any indication yet. Maybe it's just because the Aggies, I guess, probably recovered the fumble there. Looks like it was a loose ball. Profil Greer was able to fall on it. Matt Wells just didn't have enough time to find the receiver. He was being chased all around the backfield. Tried to get rid of the ball. Ball popped loose. Forward motion brings up fourth down. The clock is ticking with 2 minutes now remaining. Take a look at that play again, see if we can see what happens.
Watch number 48 at the top of the screen there. He's going to bowl over 2 Aggies and then into Greer and then into Wells, and finally had a hand in the fact the ball was knocked away.
Three straight plays that Jeff Mitchell has altered. Matt Wells runs, fires a two-hopper to Sean Johnson, and that's it. That was a fourth down attempt. The Raging Cajuns will take over on about the 49-yard line. Seems to be some discussion, but both teams are switching. No flags down that I can see. Well, maybe there is a flag. And the Cajun coaches are saying decline whatever it is.
Illegal substitution on the offense. Penalty is declined. That's a first down for the defense.
A minute 41 left to go in this game.
Think of how this game started optimistically for the Aggies, who had a 14-0 lead after a quarter and a half. Then, or since then, it's been 27-3 for USL.
For the Aggie fans, once they saw those first 14 points tick on the board, they had to be very optimistic that this was going to be the renaissance of yet another season. This was the Magic Weekend a year ago. Well, the Aggies are saying they've picked up a fumble. I don't know that the officials are agreeing. Now, let's see what's going on down there. The officials are talking amongst themselves. And the Aggies have recovered the fumble. Watch it here on the replay.
Well, Johnny Williams just took it right out of the runner's hands. It is a Utah State ball. It was a fumble, and the Aggies were on it.
Well, there's an interesting turn of events that makes the end of this game a little interesting. A minute and a half left as the Aggies have a little bit of a second life here. At least it keeps us from having to call a game where everybody just puts their knee down and we let the seconds tick away. We'll see what happens here. A minute 31, first and 10 on the 46-yard line. Abu Wilson now in the backfield. Matt Wells turns and fires incomplete. That was Ivy Russell, unable to get a hand on the low pass. Wells just doesn't have enough time to set up with a nice 5 to 7 step drop and see what's going on downfield. He's having to go with these short receivers, not short in stature, but short in distance from the line of scrimmage. Although Ivy Russell is 5'7". Sean Turner is who he'd like to find. Also Kevin Alexander. They're the ones running the deep routes. Second down and 10. Matt looks and fires over the middle of the field to Sean Turner. into Cajun territory, but it's only a pickup of 5 yards. Tim Sensley providing the coverage.
Turner started that route as if it was a sprint to the flag. Then he cut across the middle quickly and was open.
Abu Wilson in motion. He goes in behind Turner. Wells looks and finds a wide open Sean Johnson, who steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line, stops the clock with 56 seconds remaining. Johnson was wide open on that play. Take a look at the replay here. No one covering him. Almost his momentum almost carried him out of bounds. Able to step so at the 32, stops the clock. Johnson fixing footwear there.
16-yard gain and less than a minute to go.
Ball's on the 32-yard line. 3 wideouts to the left side. Abu Wilson in the backfield. Team motors over to the right side. Wells has time now, and he will try to elude the grass with the defenders. He gets about a 5-yard pickup. If he just could have eluded the grass, that was number 96, Joseph Evans. I know Wells saw a little bit of daylight ahead of him, at least enough for a first down, but not so now. It was about a 6-yard pickup. Brings up, let's see, about 3 yards away. For the Cajuns, that's how they spell it down there in Louisiana. And actually, we can say Louisiana. Go, Cajuns. Got a few players from Breaux Bridge spelled the same way.
You know, we looked at the comparative scores between Utah State and Louisiana Tech, and Louisiana Tech and USL. They won, USL won at Louisiana Tech by 13-3 or something like that. The Aggies win at Louisiana Tech 7-3. And we're talking about really, I could say safely, the 2 best defenses in the conference in Utah State and USL. And we thought it might be that kind of a game, a low-scoring game. The score isn't low, but the totals are. Right now we have unofficially University of Southwestern Louisiana at 303 and the Aggies 250 total yards. So not a lot of yardage tonight.
The Aggies need about 26 of them right now to be in any kind of a position to make this very interesting in the middle. Off over the hands of Sean Johnson. Trying to catch it at around the 15-yard line. That would have been a first down. Brings up 3rd down now. 3rd down and about 4. 40 seconds left in this game. Ivy Russell comes in. Sean Johnson exits as they trade off duties, bringing the plays in.
Go defense!
And all 3 wideouts head to the left side. Kevin Alexander, Sean Turner, Ivy Russell, Profel Greer in motion to the right side. Finds Profel up the middle. He can use his speed to get into the end zone possibly, but is stopped short, 7 yards shy. The clock will stop at 33 seconds while the chains are moved down to that end of the field.
Interesting play where you saw him going in motion. He tried to kind of get lost and started back across the line of scrimmage the other way. And there was actually a little bit of an opening more to the outside.
Matt Wells stops the clock at 29 seconds. So it's 2nd down and goal at the 7-yard line. Trying to see what happens here as Matt Wells gets his instructions from the sidelines. Matt Wells, again, the sophomore quarterback, taking the reins from Anthony Calvillo of a year ago. Matt Wells out of Sallisaw, Oklahoma. 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Look at head coach Charlie Weatherby. Profel Greer again in motion to the right side. Wells looks for Greer. Looks for another receiver and just throws it over the head of nearest receiver was Sean Johnson. One of those plays where nobody's open, get rid of it and try it again. 24 seconds now remain. New play coming in, courtesy of Ivy Russell. Tight end Mike Hamilton leaves the game. So now it's 3rd down and goal. Ball is at the 7-yard line. 24 seconds remain. Profel Greer in the backfield. Matt Wells rolls and finds Sean Turner. Sean unable to hang on. would have been a spectacular grab, and he might have even been out of bounds by the time he caught it anyway, but Sean Turner unable to hang on to the ball. 20 seconds now.
Probably one of the smaller wide receivers wouldn't even have gotten to that one. Turner's a wiry, tall guy. What a stretch. Ooh, he had a foot in bounds when he came down, but he didn't have the ball. Another look at it. Boy, he had to stretch out to catch that or even have a chance to catch it.
Well, it's 4th down and goal. Game comes down to this. 20 seconds left. Greer again in motion. Wells back. Looks, he's got open field if he wants to take it himself. And he finds Sean Turner for a touchdown. As 12 seconds remaining, Matt Wells rolled out, looked like he was going to run it, drew the coverage in, and Sean Turner was able to find the room and make the snag.
Wells dropping back, steps up, looks, runs to the left. There was a question for a minute if he was over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. That toss into the corner of the end zone. Turner's waving at him, I'm all alone. And Wells delivers it right at the back of the end zone. And Turner again trying to keep his feet in bounds and does a good job.
Well, the Aggies now with 12 seconds remaining will go for 2 as they want to get to within a get to a position to where possibly a field goal could win this. So 23-27, 4 points down. They line up on the 3-yard line. Wells with a quick pass, and it's good. The conversion is good to Sean Johnson. And so now the Aggies are down by 2 points, 25-27. Still 12 seconds on the clock. You almost have to bet your paycheck that we're going to see an onside kick here.
Johnson was the slot man. He went down and curled to the outside, right along the line of scrimmage, and made the catch right there.
Well, the Aggies have made this interesting. But with 12 seconds remain, there's not much time for the Aggies to do much of anything, but you can almost guarantee that the onside kick is coming. And all of the sure-handed receivers for USL are now taking the field. We've got the tight end, Cody Romero, Donald Richard, their leading receiver. He is up there, as well as Franco Smith, another wide receiver, Darren Struther. They're all along the front lines. There is only one man who is beyond about 10 yards from where the receiving team can line up. That's number 9, Damon Mason. He's ready just in case the Aggies surprise them somehow. Well, we'll see what happens, to which side they go. All righty, looks to be going to the left-hand side, to the top of your screen. Mike Anor got the nice bounce, and the ball is loose, out of bounds, last touched by the Cajuns. Bounced out of bounds, got up in the air, got the height that you want to off of that second bounce on an onside kick.
Here's Knorr, just a one-step approach, and he gets it. Really, it's the kind of kick you want, and the Aggies have some people in position, but they can't control it. It's spinning too hard and moving too fast. Nobody did, and so it becomes USL ball.
Well, Corey Alexander, if he'd been about maybe 6 to 8 inches taller, might have been able to come down with that. It's all academic from here. 12 seconds remain. Jake Delhomme puts the knee down. No time is ticked off the clock here. I think the University of Utah and a couple other teams that have been to Romney Stadium so far this year can understand what's going on. Okay, now it's ticking away. And the Aggies have taken a timeout with 5 seconds left. Utah State takes the timeout. There's 5 seconds remaining. The crowd is really starting to thin out at this point. Now they have put 5 seconds back on the clock. There's 10 seconds remaining, but it's only a second down. They put the knee down one more time. Utah State can use its last timeout, and then with the third down play, that will end the game. Unless the Aggies are hoping for a rare fumble on one of these plays. You've got the deep man, Donald Richard. He is back. He's out of the screen. He's the one that's designed to protect everything. It looks like he's going to punt the ball, but he's just there to make sure nothing happens. Nice flip. Look at that. That's a highlight. Steve Mossick.
The running back did a back flip to celebrate the victory.
Well, the seconds will tick away. We've got 6-5 left, and the Ragin' Cajuns take the field victorious here at Romney Stadium. They have come away with a 2-point win over the Utah State Aggies. Ragin' Cajuns are now in very nice position as they have only one more conference game left. They are now 4-1 in the Big West Conference. The team to beat right now, Nevada 3-0, but they have some tough battles ahead of them.
Well, and also UNLV at 3-0, but UNLV now goes to USL in a couple of weeks. And the Cajuns can help themselves by tacking on a loss to UNLV, and in a tiebreaker in that situation, they'd have it over UNLV.
Well, we will take a quick break here, come back with some post-game thoughts, some statistics, tell you what happened and why. 27-25, your final here in Logan, Utah.
Nationally famous, the AT&T traveling technology truck is on display exclusively at R.C. Willey. Also exclusively at R.C. Willey, this AT&T 486SX250 desktop computer, 4 meg of RAM plus fax modem with voicemail, software, 6 online services, and color monitor, $9.99 after factory rebate. AT&T multimedia computers with monitors start as low as $12.99 after rebates. The sales at all stores, but the AT&T Technology Semi will be at the Syracuse store this Friday and Saturday. Nobody beats R.C. Willey. Nobody.